Hey everybody, Steve Prziborowski here. Welcome to episode 21 of Reach for the Firefighter Badge. Episode 21 is going to discuss, so you want to become a firefighter. 6 key points to assist you. And this is based off of a brochure that I put together for the Chabot College Fire Technology program, where I'm fortunate to teach part-time at, and I run their website. So I encourage you to go to the website, which I'll share here in a second, as I always do. On the bottom, chabotfire.com has a lot of great free firefighter preparation information, and one of the brochures is titled after this episode, So You Want to Become a Firefighter, 6 Key Points to Assist You. It's basically meant as a roadmap. You're starting out from scratch. You don't know anything about becoming a firefighter. This is a great document. I think it's like 17, 18 pages. Regardless of where you are around the country, it's a great roadmap. Not everything may apply to you in your situation, but a lot of the stuff probably will. So also my other website, code3firetraining.com, has a lot of other good information to help prepare you to be the best firefighter you can be. These webinars are based on 2 of the 3 books I've had published, Future Firefighters Preparation Guide, as well as Reach for the Firefighter Badge, both valuable resources for the future firefighter that are available off my website. So let's get into the 6 key points to assist you becoming a firefighter. Now, before I get started, I know it's very easy if you've taken the time to watch these webinars, these webisodes, these vlogs, whatever you want to call them, that I've done. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of redundancy for a number of reasons. Number one, I want to reinforce key points that I think are important. So it's very important, I think, at least from my standpoint, to reinforce things just because I think they're of value. So that explains the redundancy in some form or fashion. So first key point, you got to be able to have an action plan and roadmap for success. And that's why I mentioned that if you go to chabotfire.com, look on the free stuff link, so you're going to become a firefighter, take a look at this document. You'll get a lot more in-depth information on these 6 key points. Like I said, you could be starting from scratch, no clue, and I give you a roadmap. I mean, short of giving you everything you need to do except get the job, you still got to pass the test, and you got to do what needs to be done to get hired. But you got to create an action plan and roadmap for success. I think it's critical. Here's the brochure I was talking about. Like I said, put together. I try to update it regularly, but I try to share some real life experiences. And again, the hard part is the information within here. Not everything that I suggest may work for you, and what works for one person may not work for you, or vice versa. So everything is just suggestions. Take it with a grain of salt. Do the best you can to try to prepare yourself. Try to leave no stone unturned, as they say. So second key point, start taking as many tests as you qualify for. In previous episodes, I've discussed locating firefighter tests, and I've discussed this concept here. You can't get hired unless you take the test. And then a lot of people, well, I don't want to take the test. And I ask why. And of course, well, I'm not ready. What are you waiting for? And then, of course, usual answers, well, I'm waiting to finish my EMT, or I'm waiting to finish my Firefighter 1 Academy, or I'm waiting to finish my degree. I'm waiting for next year. I'm waiting for all this pandemic to end. I'm waiting. You know what? All you're doing is putting barriers in front of you. Take the test, assuming you qualify. Now, if you don't qualify, you can't take it, but take as many tests as you qualify for. And if you don't qualify for a lot, then you better figure out what you need to do to qualify. It's as simple as that. If everyone around you is requiring EMT and you don't have your EMT, then by all means, you better get your EMT. Otherwise, you're not going to probably get hired. So take the tests. What's the worst that can happen? They hire you. I mean, that's not a bad thing. You can always say no. I don't want the job, but you know what? Take the opportunity. I know failure sucks. Nobody wants to be rejected. Nobody wants to find out they didn't do as well as they thought they could do. But you know what? That's human nature. And you got to be able to be in this for the long haul, be persistent, tenacious, and be willing to stick it out and have thick skin. But you got to start taking the tests if you want to be a firefighter. Second key point, start learning what the hiring process looks like. I've shared in past webinars what a typical hiring process component looks like. Oral interview, written test, chief's interview, all those other details that most departments use. But start learning about the process, and more importantly, take those darn tests so you can actually see what they look like. For the most part, an oral interview does not differ, nor does a written test, nor does a chief's interview, nor does a background investigation. They're all pretty much the same. The only thing different pretty much is the department or jurisdiction you're applying for. Fourth key point, begin preparing now for your background investigation. I'm going to talk a lot more about background investigations in the future, but you got to prepare now for your background investigation, because a background investigation is typically a packet that you have to first fill out. That packet or document could be anywhere from 15 to 25 pages of a lot of information. And I've heard of stories where a department say, hey, you know what? Congratulations, you did great on the interview. We want to give you a conditional job offer. So the first part of that conditional process is fill out this background investigation pack. And you look at this 15, 20, 25 page document that's asking you for your life story and history. And you're like, oh crap, how long do I got to fill this out? About a year? And the answer usually is, no, you got about a week or two. And I've heard departments, well, you have 2 weeks to fill it out, or a week. But if you could really get it done ASAP, like today or tomorrow, it would not hurt. Huh? So when you see the information that's required in a background investigation, not all of it is easily found or obtained. So I encourage you to start preparing now. Let me back up here. On the ChabotFire.com website, under the free stuff link, there's actually a sample background investigation packet. I downloaded a sample background packet that you can download as a Word document to start looking for the information they're asking for. I mean, they're going to ask for every job you've ever held, every transcripts from every school you've ever attended, contact information for family, friends, your financial history, credit history, accident history, driving history, tickets, arrest record, drug use, alcohol use, a ton of information that is not easily figured out in an hour or two. It takes a lot of time. So the benefit, like I said, if you download the background packet on ChabotFire.com on the free stuff link, while that may not be the same background packet that you have to fill out, it's a very common one that many departments use. So I encourage you to start grabbing that information ASAP, because I would hate to have you lose out on a job because you can't get the information in a timely manner. Or even worse, you can't pass. That's another issue. Key point number 5, enroll and take classes at a community college offering a 2-year degree, and hopefully also offering EMT, paramedic, and a Firefighter 1 Academy. As I've mentioned previously, virtually no departments require a 2 or 4-year degree. It's that simple. And again, as I've mentioned, even if they don't require it, it's to your benefit to do that, because by going to a college, getting your 2-year degree in fire, and also getting EMT, paramedic, and Firefighter 1, you open up more doors, because now you can take more tests, because those are the 3 key things that most departments look for. Not the degree, but EMT, paramedic, or an academy. So it allows you to take more tests, but more importantly, it also allows you to prepare for the position. And that's why I try to stress, don't just prepare for the test, prepare for the position, the career, the job. So also, other benefits of attending a community college that offers a 2-year degree is that you get to network with many other like-minded individuals. Plus, your instructors are also typically on the job or retired personnel that can provide a lot of great, valuable information. So networking, building relationships, exposing yourself to a lot of great things. It's as simple as that. Helps you be more successful when you actually get the job. Key point number 6, stay up to date on your fire service. Notice how I said your fire service. Stay up to date in your fire service. It's going to help you for a number of reasons. It's the career you want to get into, obviously. So do your homework, do your research. There's many different great ways to do that. I'm a fan of subscribing to the many free email lists out there. There's a lot of publications and email lists that are free. Now, there's really only 2 publications or magazines for the fire service in today's world, really printed magazines. Firehouse magazine, the second link there, firehouse.com, and then fireengineering.com, the third one. Firehouse and Fire Engineering are about the only 2 printed publications related to fire. There's obviously some EMS related ones and other ones, but firefighting, Firehouse and Fire Engineering, they obviously both contain EMS and other things that we do in every monthly issue, but they also have websites. These are all great websites I encourage you to check out. Fire Rescue Magazine used to be print, but now it's just digital only. You can still subscribe to it as well. But either way, these websites have tons of free information, even if you don't subscribe. At the top, dailydispatch.com is a great state-by-state news service that's published by the Western Fire Chiefs Association. Again, it's free. You can sign up. I'm based in California, so I subscribe free of charge to California news. You get every day, Monday through Friday, top news stories about the fire service in California. And then also there's nationwide news service as well. So you get like 3 to 5 California items and then 3 to 5 nationwide items, give or take, depending on what's out there. I also subscribe to other states around, Washington, Oregon, Arizona, not because I necessarily want to go there, move there, or work there, nothing against those states, but I want to find out what's going on in other regional areas adjacent to California, just to stay abreast of what's going on. Firefighterclosecalls.com, the fifth one down, that is an awesome website. A lot of firefighter training and safety information, but information to keep you safe and healthy. Billy Goldfeder runs that website. Billy Goldfeder is a deputy chief from Ohio. His name is synonymous with firefighterclosecalls.com. Great guy. He also hosts it with Gordon Graham, retired California Highway Patrol officer. Gordon Graham is a friend of the fire service, and he's done a lot of stuff positive for the fire service, just like Billy Goldfeder has, as they run this website. They send out timely information. So like if a firefighter dies, they'll send out an email ASAP. I mean, most of the firefighter deaths, injuries, or maybe significant fires going on right now in the country. Obviously, social media sometimes has that information timely, but Firefighter Close Calls is that one go-to source that gives you timely information about what's going on in your fire service, and it's a must subscribe to it for any rank. And then the last website, firerescue1.com, again, lots of great free articles on there. All of these I encourage you to bookmark, check out. Many of them, actually all of them, have ability to subscribe to the free email updates. I encourage you to do that. What's the worst that can happen? You got to start learning about the industry you want to work in and you want to spend the rest of your career in, I'm assuming. Now, think about this. When you get to your oral interview, it's not uncommon for oral boards to ask you questions that are hypothetical in nature. So, Steve, tell us a situation where you've maybe had to, mediate a dispute between two other people. And again, as I share in previous episodes, know yourself inside and out before you even attempt to answer oral board questions. Knowing yourself inside out also means knowing each of the jobs you've ever held, and being able to use different experiences from your life at different points to be able to answer questions. Well, you know what? Mediating a dispute, okay, I got to share a story because that's what they asked me to. Well, there are also other hypothetical questions they may ask you. Sometimes the hypothetical questions they give you, the firefighter candidate, are, you're at the firehouse one day as the probationary firefighter, and you happen to see a firefighter, take a drink out of a bottle, that appears to be alcohol. What are you going to do and why? And there's a reason they ask you questions. It's not uncommon to get questions related to drinking on the job, off the job, drug use on or off the job, cheating, stealing, ethical related issues. And you may think, wait a second, why would they ask me these questions? There's no way another firefighter could be an alcoholic or a drunk or a drug addict or a whatever else bad thing here. Well, guess what? We'd love to say in the fire service that we hire perfect people, but no, we hire people. We try to hire the best possible people out there, but everyone in the world has some type of baggage, some type of challenge. Myself included. And we try our best through background investigations, psychological evaluations, but we still sometimes hire some bad apples. And it's not uncommon when you look at some of these websites or get the daily emails to see stories of firefighters arrested on duty, off duty. The list goes on and on and on, sad to say. Again, it's a small percentage of the fire service population. It may be 5% of every firefighter nationwide, career or volunteer. 95% are doing the right thing and, representing their department and the fire service very positively. But again, it's the 5% of any type of industry that makes us all look bad. I get it. That's how it happens. Back to this point, departments will ask you those questions about drinking, cheating, stealing. Maybe not you personally, but when you observe somebody else doing that, and you can't put your head in the sand going, well, that never happens. No, it happens. Your key as a human being is having the ability to, if you see something, do something and say something. That Homeland Security saying that I know somebody, see something, do something, say something. No. Yeah, you could find yourself on duty or off duty in a position where you may have to say, hey, knock it off, or don't do that, or have to report it up the chain of command. And I think that's the key, is they ask you those types of ethical related questions, cheating, drinking, stealing, lying, because number one, they're happening. in the fire service, in any line of work, public industry, yeah, private industry, public government, professional sports, every line of work has some bad apples. Usually it's a small percentage of bad apples, but they're making the good apples look bad. So if you're getting asked that question about, hey, you happen to see some firefighters drinking, cheating, stealing, and you can be able to answer that question of, well, this is what I would do and why. More importantly, this is why it's a problem. I mean, obviously, just because it's a hypothetical scenario doesn't mean that it's happening. I mean, obviously, you've got to do fact finding and make sure that it truly is that. But let's assume it truly is drinking, cheating, stealing, all the bad stuff. Well, if you Google firefighter arrested or firefighter bad behavior or things like that, you're going to find a ton of hits out there. You know, when Joe the plumber gets a DUI, it doesn't make the news, but when Joe the firefighter gets a DUI, it makes the news. So we are held to a higher standard as civil servants, public servants, and we have to remember that. And with that comes trying to hire the best people that we can hire. So if you're on top of what's going on in your fire service, then you can maybe bring out a story when you're asked a question about ethics and integrity, when you can say, yeah, I was actually just reading, you know, in fireengineering.com just the other day, there was a story of a firefighter that was arrested on duty for dealing drugs. Yeah, those things happen. Firefighters dealing drugs at a station, prostitutes coming by fire stations while they're on duty. Yeah, if you can put that into your story, not in a derogatory Monday morning quarterback way, but in a story. The story made the news, so it's public information, and maybe you can, you know, share the why that is not a good thing to do without, again, slamming that department or, you know, critiquing them, so to speak, but showing the oral board that you pay attention to current fire service trends and worldwide events really can make you stand out in a unique, positive way because you actually get it. Not just, oh, well, you know, firefighters shouldn't be drinking on duty because, you know, it's not right. It's against policy. Well, yeah, exactly. But why? Be unique. So these 6 key points will not guarantee your success in becoming a firefighter, but they will definitely assist you with it, preparing for the position and ultimately being the best that you can be. So as always, thank you very much for the gift of your time. And I mean that sincerely. I don't take it for granted when people take the time and energy to, number one, read or watch what I'm doing, but also reach out to me. And again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. If I can be of any assistance, my contact information, feel free to connect with me on social media. I'm here. I was in your shoes at one point, and this is my opportunity to hopefully pay it forward, give things back, and help prepare the future leaders of the fire service. So until next time, take care, be safe, and we'll see you soon.